Good morning, guys. Welcome back. It's going to be a beautiful day in Richmond, Virginia today. It's supposed to be rain. We've got an upcoming car show that if you guys are local, down at the college, do they have a certain name for that car show? Richard Bland Car Show is what we call it. I know it's for a good cause. It's in a beautiful setting. Anyway, that is coming up this weekend. Hopefully the rain holds off because it's in a grassy field underneath a beautiful orchard of trees, and they don't have it if we have rain. So we're prepared either way, but not as prepared as we should be. Also noticed in the background of our videos yesterday, our wall there is looking very bad. So Alvin's first job this morning when he gets in is going to be to wash up that wall. I don't know how we allowed it to get as bad as we did. Oh, AJ, do you have a Band-Aid in there? You do? All right, because I'm cut. Got it. Got him. Him getting back to the gym, thankfully. My shoulder injury has, not going to do any flexing, but my shoulder injury has slightly healed. I did not go through the proper process, but rest. Rest has been the best thing possible, but I'm happy to get back at it. It's been a while, got a little bit out of shape, but we'll be back at it pretty hot and heavy and get that taken care of. Boy, oh boy, did we stir up some stuff yesterday by driving this truck around. And I do want to reiterate something. So a lot of times I talk about who we'd like to buy and all that. We'll sell to anybody. We don't care. But we do have trucks like this, which is currently, if somebody called today and said, I want to send the money, it's not for sale. I'd take the money, but it's not for sale per se because we are doing some filming. I've promised some other YouTubers some filming options and opportunities with this truck for their channels, and it is a very eclectic, rare truck. Now, we also use the term V10, and boy, oh boy, people went berserk. This is a 1987 Custom Deluxe V10 with Silverado trim. Normally there we'd say K10. And if we slip up on 87 and say K10, you guys give us the riot act. It's so divided. It's crazy. But anyway, beautiful truck, 21,000 original documented miles. We've had 2 third-party people come check this truck out, which is what made us tuck it away because it is a time capsule. It is something I can't replace. It's kind of like a few of the others that you guys have seen or haven't seen some cases, some of the trucks, because we can't replace it. I can't go out and buy this truck again. It is an 87, which is a single year only for the fuel-injected motor. It is a 5.7. It is a 4-speed. It is Silverado. It wears Silverado trim, but it is a Custom Deluxe basic interior. And people do always ask, how do you know about the miles? How do you know about this? Documentation. Beautiful documentation with this truck, so we're good there, but also the legitimacy of checking some of the things that would have had to have been replaced by now, such as the original belts. I know I've showed this before, but we took the original GM belts off this truck. I think all but one were factory and put them in the back. The battery's been changed. It even has an AC Delco replacement battery. Somebody was that anal about it. The tank's been replaced just due to sitting, moisture, and rust, and the exhaust has been done, and the tires were changed out. And when the tires were changed out, we did have the receipt, and I just looked for it yesterday. I don't see it in the glove box anymore, but the mileage was documented. You can look at the wear on this tire. It's supposedly been about 2,000 miles, and that looks like about 2,000 miles of wear. Also in the glove box is the original bill of sale. It was $14,000, and owner's manual, documents, warranty paperwork, all that jazz. So really cool truck. Somebody has added the toolbox, the side rails, the gun rack, side steps. Other than that, it's unchanged. And we drove it yesterday with the AC, doing a bunch of filming and riding around. That was a bunch of fun. But gosh, the controversy. Not so much on here. We know you guys are pretty educated. But when I went to bed, there was, 100 and some comments. Now there's like 300 and some comments. Crazy enough, a bunch of the original 100 comments are now deleted because I guess people get embarrassed and they delete their comment. You're a fool. GM never made a V10. I'm like, it's a V10 truck, not a V10 engine. But people just run down that tantrum, and then people start correcting them, and then they get all embarrassed, and the comment gets deleted. So there was a bunch of threads where it was like 15 to 18 comments. They're now gone, which is okay. If you don't understand things, it is confusing. And we do find it, AJ really finds it humorous when we talk about it, because himself has said the wrong thing and got ridiculed. Again, not as much on YouTube as TikTok. People on TikTok go nuts about trying to make sure they show somebody's doing something wrong. And we will slip up. I'm the first to do it. When I'm talking about one of these trucks, calling it a Squarebody K10. It's not a Squarebody K10. It's a Squarebody V10. Matter of fact, Squarebody's not even a technical GM word. This would have been a GM R/V10 series truck. I think the bill of sale, we'll pull that out today, and I'll show you guys that. And I think the number behind it is actually the wheelbase. It's in the serial number. Not in the serial number, but in the order number. We'll show you guys that too. But even down to the locking hubs, a lot of people ask about that. That's an automatic locking hub. Chances are it will not work the first time you go to use it. They stick. They're mechanical. They don't operate great when they're not used regularly. So we used to keep a shelf full of worn hubs. We still do. Matter of fact, I've got a shelf here, and Daniel's got a shelf at the shop as well, because most people change them to locking hubs. Warren was one of the most popular. There's Mile Marker. There's a few others. But Super Winch. But if you use that regularly, it will work. It's a good system because you don't have to get out of the truck. Also moved a 6-door across the road, and we have had a ton of people stop by. That truck's been kind of over here and in the back, and as you guys know, I also kind of lost it after I used it Memorial Day. Fun story on one of our previous videos about that, but it's sitting over there, and it's getting a ton of attention. Matter of fact, I had somebody draw a sketch and bring it to us yesterday, saying it'd be cool to do an 8-door. AJ saw this. AJ didn't hear the whole story, but he's a nice guy. Stops by all the time. Matter of fact, has some really serious roots in this area, and a super nice fella. But he stopped by and drew a sketch of an 8-door, and he said, Jay, look at this. If you did an 8-door like that one, he said, you know, put a little piece of black stripe across where the windows are. It looked like a limo. He was in it. I mean, he drew it out for me. Nicest fella in the world. He also gets us involved with a lot of events and different things. So again, kudos to him. I think he watches the channel pretty regularly. But he drew this whole sketch. AJ came in and said, what are you drawing, JW? What are you doodling? I'm like, that was from our friend. And he was like, well, did he see the truck? And I was like, no. He just said he saw the 6-door, and he said he wanted to emulate that with an 8-door. He said, did you show him? And I was like, yes, I showed him. So I pulled up the pictures and video. Well, some of y'all haven't seen this. Look at this. You want to drop it in? Oh, okay. All right. So AJ's going to get technical, and he's going to drop this picture in. Well, I'll send you a couple pictures because we do have an 8-door, and it is bigger than the truck sitting over there on the trailer. And it will complete our trifecta of crazy megas and then the crazy street ones. So go ahead and drop in a few. You want to drop? We'll drop in. All right, cool. Drop in both megas, drop in Grimace and the 10-door. Because I think we're getting together a pretty good arsenal of multi-door craziness. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So when the 8-door's done, which it could be done. A lot of people have been following that, and they see it fast roll, then slow roll, fast roll, slow roll. So to understand that, the reason that happens is, guys, a lot of y'all are our customers out there. We are not like a lot of shops, and we're not putting our private things first. We're dedicating the time to y'all's vehicles and not our toys and not our hobbies. Now, we do have specific shutdown time coming up, and I'll be very clear about that to all of our customers. Again, a place where a lot of shops get themselves in trouble. They keep the workload, and they keep the workload, and they keep promising, and you cannot promise and not deliver. And anybody in here, drop it in the comments. I know a bunch of y'all are customers that have purchased. Our timelines are very accurate. If something outside of our control, part of the rest of this video is going to be about that, holds us up, we're going to communicate. We're going to let you know. We'll even send you tracking numbers to verify it. We're not just making up a story. your timeline's going to be pretty accurate within a week, usually a week to the good, not a week to the bad. I think we ran 2 days over on a truck here recently. That's about as far behind as we've really been. But things are going to, well, get back to what we're doing. So Daniel has dedicated shop time for the SEMA builds. So we're not going to take in, or if you guys buy a truck and you add steps and steering and track bar, and I'll tell you a 2 to 3 week timeline, it's going to be a 2 to 3 week timeline. If we're in the process of our couple weeks of SEMA build project knockout, I'm going to tell you it's going to be 5 weeks. You know, there'll be a realistic timeline involved. It goes Twisted Cycle. Remind me, I got to call him because we got to work on that dyno. Did you know about that?
The motorcycle dyno?
Yeah. What we're using it for? You don't know, do you? I'll tell you about it. Christian knows. He's planning it. Yeah. We'll talk about it. No, you don't have to cut it out. We'll talk about it. It can be a surprise. Parts and availability is getting to be a problem again. Wheels of different sorts getting to be a problem again. Supply of things as simple as square body springs are becoming a problem again. So just understand, guys, when you're working with Daniel, you're mainly working with Daniel. Sometimes if you're buying something, working with me, but there are some things that if we tell you that, it's, again, not fictitious. It's because it's real. He's keeping a constant order of things. We keep a enormous amount of money and inventory parts cost that we don't necessarily need, but we do it to keep the flow going. And he does a great job of getting the parts allocated to the project and the job. And that way, if a customer walks in and says, I want to buy 12-inch springs, those 12-inch springs are allocated for this project. They're not for sale, even though they're on the shelf. That way, when this project rolls in a week or two, the parts are there. There's no problems. But that's a hard balance to keep. Customers every day are calling. Man, I waited on my wheels for 6 months. We're getting back to some COVID times. Tow trucks are the same way. I'm going to tell you right now, the phone has been going crazy for tow trucks. Mainly almost new. The used ones are selling great too. They always do. But the almost new, they're getting the runaround again. They're getting told months. They're getting told they have a truck and there isn't really a truck. There's a bunch, and there's always, and we got a video that is going to decimate the tow truck sales industry when we release it. There's some lawsuits. There was some serious legal things. Through all that, it's TJ getting one of our tow trucks ready as we speak. But we've got some stories to tell, and by that point, when I release this video, I may legally be able to name some names, and it's way outside of our character to do this. But after what we've been through, we were on the right side of it on every single piece. You know, Mom doesn't play any games. I don't play any games. When it comes to buying, she doesn't play any games when it comes to paperwork and sending money and paying for things. We are the zero part of game playing in the auto industry. But we had a lot of games played with us and our money and our vehicles through this time in a very illegal fashion. We won every single thing that we had to go about. But it took time. It took effort. We had to spend attorney fees, and it was ridiculous that we went through this. So we will name some names and show some documents, but I'm waiting on all of it to finalize enough that I can talk about it and do that. And again, it's we're bigger than that, but in this case, y'all need to know, you consumers that buy these vehicles on that line right there, Chevy, Ford, Dodge, International, Hino, Peterbilt, KW, all of that is involved in what we're going to talk about. And the manufacturers behind it and the deceptiveness, it's really unnerving what we saw. But again, during those times, we were pushing more metal than anybody in the country. There was not a manufacturer. There was not a sales facility. There was nobody that was pushing the amount of iron across the plate, but we weren't lazy. I had part-time people. I had full-time people. Some of my employees that I have now came from that time because we were all over the country getting trucks to their users.
3 hours later.
All right, phone died. Building got washed. I changed clothes, and we sold a truck. Been a busy morning already. So I got 2 things I'm gonna bring you guys. Just a little learning, Guys and girls. I always say guys. My guys, I think will get me a t-shirt made. What's the t-shirt gonna say, AJ?
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
And girls.
So now it'll say and girls, but get used to something. You say it all the time. But anyway, go talk about this Squarebody, which is going to be for sale, but I'm going to show you guys a couple things to please don't ever do. And then we're going to talk about this particular rollback because, one, we need to get a video for a customer. But for two, I want to show you guys when we're talking about mileage, because that definitely came up when talking about the Squarebody. And there are very few times you can take, let's get it right on into it, that you can take mileage to heart. And I know that's upsetting. Old Corvettes, old Camaros, old Suburbans, Blazers, whatever it is, if it does not have a sixth digit and your uncle did not buy it brand new and you know every single mile he put on it, you cannot hardly trust mileage these days. You got to have some serious documentation because, unfortunately, we just ran into this. Some states don't even document miles on vehicles over 15 years old. Some, I think it might even be after 10 years. It becomes a very big problem. And we see a lot of stuff posted that I can assure you says 43,000 original miles. No way in HE double hockey sticks is that possible. It's just not. You can look at the truck and tell. So I'm going to show you some things to look for when you're validating mileage. But this truck, for example, is showing 43,000 miles. Take a look at it. I would never in a million years, even though the title says 43,000 miles, sell this truck to you as a 43,000 mile original truck. I'm just not going to do it. I don't have the documentation to back it up, so we're not going to do that. Next guy probably would, but we're not going to. You can just look at the truck, and one, it's been repainted. It's a lot of modifications, and you can look at stuff and tell. And again, that's why we're bouncing between these two. But the part I want to show you guys to not do, and we've all been there. I was 15, 16 years old. My brothers were that way too. And you don't have the money to spend and you shortcut things. But some things take into account safety. And that's why they're not supposed to be done. Save the money till you can do it right. But look at the back of this truck. Come this way, AJ. So they spent money for U-bolts. They spent money for blocks. And they spent money to cut leaf springs and stack them. Super duper unsafe. Don't do that. Spend the money for a spring and add a leaf, whatever it takes. Also, check out these parking brake cables. Now, yes, when you do a disc brake conversion, some people don't go back with a parking brake. You should, but there's not a real good option currently. But get the bracket, drop this down, put it back where it's supposed to go. Guarantee it's not going to work. It's going to be froze up. Also, catch the rear differential. Brake line, just hanging out there. Come back around from the back again. Just chilling in there. All it needs is a little piece of metal to catch it. Why do you want to mount it versus just having it hanging there? Well, when you're going down the road, this is doing this. Have you ever taken a tin can and bent it back and forth, bent it back and forth, bent it back and forth? What happens, AJ?
Breaks.
Eventually breaks. That's doing that. At 60 miles an hour, same thing's going to happen. When you go to hit the brake, you're not going to have a brake. Let's go from the very front. Very, very, very front over here. Now, you have a lot of people see some of our trucks that have like a 1 inch or maybe it's 1.5 inches or so piece right here. It's not a block. We get a lot of comments. Don't use front blocks. We don't use front blocks. We would never use front blocks. That's a front block. That is improper. And obviously it'll be taken out. But I want you to see this ahead of time. They also took the factory steering stabilizer off. That's not that big of a deal. But again, it's just a simple thing. It's 40 or 50 bucks. It'll keep you from having a death wobble. The sway bar's not dropped down. The steering's running at a funky angle. But back to the front blocks that I'm referring to that you guys may see in some of our springs that I keep saying are not blocks. They are bolted in. They are called a zero rate leaf by a lot of people. I'm sure there's other names. But they come in it from Superlift that way. The reason they come in it is that way the spring doesn't have to have as much of an arch. It's sold from a manufacturer and it's bolted in. It can't come out like a front block. The reason they don't want you to have front block is what happens when you hit something? The front tire hits it first. When it jars it, it's going to kick that out. The front axle is going to leave the chat. It doesn't work. I mocked up a mud truck one time with front blocks in it to mock it up, then got in a rush and didn't have parts. As soon as I used it, I took it to our farm, just a basic farm truck, piece of crap mud truck. Couldn't get the springs in time. I put a big stupid shackle on it, still wasn't enough lift, so I put front blocks in. The very first time I put it in four-wheel drive, it spit out. The axle rolled under the truck. Funny part to that story was, it was down in a creek, way back on the backside of our family farm property. So we'll get it another day. Well, another day turned into a couple weeks. During that couple weeks, we had a flood. And I've got pictures of me and Brian, I don't think Daniel was there, in a boat going out to stand on the roof of my truck that was underwater all but the roof. But we didn't have a way to recover it. The axle was out. What are you going to do? You can't drag it. You know, I think we ended up using a backhoe and picking up the front and taking it up after the water receded. But just lesson learned. Don't. If you can't afford to do it, and again, every single redneck that's turned a wrench is guilty of rushing something, more when you're young than now. I can look back 30 years ago and make a lot of things that I said shouldn't do that way, but I'm just reinforcing it to you guys. Just let it sit there till you can do it right and do it safe. There's no reason for this right here. Now, I was explained, I'll say that this truck had these problems. But I, a lot of times buy a truck like this that I'm not explained that it's a problem and end up with looking at the pictures and I'm like, no, I'm out. When you see that, it just looks like you cheapskated everything. This truck was done this way because they didn't know what they wanted to do. They had a bunch of parts laying around. They never finished it. We're going to now finish it. But it is a great truck. It's got the decor stripes on the hood. The gray with the black looks great. It's an 80 square headlight. Its title is 80. And I'm not using this as a hitching post or a knock it, bad truck, because it's going to be a sweet freaking truck when it's done. Well, kneel down right here. One more little thing. Drive shaft. Now, that drive shaft will work until it won't. And again, that's sort of a customer choice. Oh, check out these shackles here too. That was the other thing. Cut off, one bolt hole hanging down. That's some creative stuff. You can buy those at Advanced Auto Parts if you want to get a free inch of lift. They suck. You can get them at Home Depot too. Yeah, that's what they hang some roofing materials with or something. But drive shafts. We're big on drive shafts. We try to always make sure drive shafts work. If you're in the shop and you say, hey, I'm on a budget, Daniel may or may not price you in a shaft. That shaft will be acceptable. But you hit a big bump and you're in four-wheel drive, it's going to disconnect or it's going to shear off because you can already see part of the splines. Now, there's sometimes that spline engagement is much further than you think. On that one, there's not much left. So it definitely needs a proper front drive shaft. Again, kind of a technical thing, but if you're going to do it right, do it right. Once this truck's done, it's going to get springs, it's going to get bushings, it's going to get the shocks installed properly, it's probably going to get exhaust modifications, get the parking brakes hooked up, it's going to get drive shaft modification, it's going to get the proper steering corrections, it's going to get the blocks in the front removed with a proper set of springs. We may lower it down an inch or two. We do actually have a customer that kind of wants it stock, which I'm all for that. I think truck would look amazing stock. Got a wood floor, accent bed. It's really a cool setup. And it's a step side, which we don't see very often. So, mileage, again, that's kind of a good example, but this is the best example. This is an 02 or an 03. What is it, AJ? 03 International Rollback. It has 4,613 miles. 4613. 4,000 miles. It's an 03. That'd be a hard one to pull over as legit. What do you do? Now, I'm going to tell you at the end of this how I undoubtedly know the mileage is correct on this truck. But a lot of people would doubt it. Why wouldn't you? I got 2026s that have more miles than that. Heck, we got 2025s that already have over 100,000 miles. So it's not hard to put miles on a commercial vehicle. And this truck is for sale. If you're looking for a nice, heavy-duty rollback, But in my little sales pitch, it's 79 grand. This truck would be 200,000 new, and it would have all the emissions this truck does not have. No DPF, no DEF. The only thing it probably has as far as emissions is probably an EGR valve. It's an inline 6-cylinder. It'll go 1,000,000 miles if maintained properly. 79 grand. So it's less than half, and it has 4,000 miles. And it's probably better than a new one because you don't have all that crap to worry about. But on to the video about learning. The first thing I would do if I was looking at a truck like this, or an old Squarebody, or an old Corvette, or a Viper, or whatever it is, and the car is very original, is look for date codes. 4302. What does that mean? It means that tire was produced in the 43rd week of 2002. Shipped out to the manufacturer, put on the truck. So it's an 03 truck with an 02 tire. Lines up perfectly. Everything's good. That's just one tire. So go to the back. All the tires match. They're all proper. Traction in the back, straight in the front. Goodyear tires like it's supposed to have, proper size. 4902. Okay, so now you know the time frame is right. Look at the tread. Now this one obviously has been off the road, so it's got some wear spots and all. But it has, if we took a tread measurement, it probably has 95% of its original tread thickness. You can see the rocks down in there. And thankfully, because this truck was indoors, they're not dry rotted. These tires will be replaced for safety before we sell it, unless the customer for some reason doesn't want that to be done. We have not done that yet because I want to validate this truck because some people may doubt it. There's a lot of doubters in the world. We wouldn't say anything if we can't back it up. I told you all that on the channel when we first started doing videos that I wasn't going to sugarcoat it. A lot of people said, y'all don't have 300 vehicles. I'm like, look, we got almost double 300 vehicles. Y'all don't have this. And we don't say it if we can't back it up, guys. So there's no need making things up. Another Squarebody you guys are going to see very shortly on a video. Oh, boy. No, you don't got to pause it. We're good. So then you look at other things like wear and tear and hoses and how much things are original. That's kind of hard to say on a truck like this. But you can even see the sticker still on the drive shaft. Tread depth, original year, dated tires. It's one of the best ways. Now, if you look at this truck and it's got brand new tires on it, it's going to be kind of hard to judge. Our CXTs, I do the same thing. We just shipped a CXT out late last night, hit it to its new owner, that we did put new tires on. I saved the original tires because that is the only validation. With all the fraud and all the bull crap in today, this has a digital dash. Oh, you can't change a digital dash like the old school trucks. People could roll those back with a toothpick. You can't use a toothpick and roll the miles back on a digital dash, right? Oh, you can't mess with that. Wrong. There's people with computer ability all over this country that can take that dash and make it say whatever you want it to say. You can make it say goodbye, or you could 8008, make it say boob if you want. I mean, he can make it do whatever you want to do. So you can't trust a lot of things that you see. A lot of things are frauded. Tire date, tire condition, and again, looking at other things. This tank, to make it look great, we should paint it. It's still got the original 03 sticker right there. Never been painted over. Every time you spill fuel, takes paint away, takes paint away, takes paint away, takes paint away. Usually this right here is a rust bucket. Heck, even on an almost new truck, it looks bad. Looks great. Now you say on this one, JW, and again, your stickers. There's so many things that you look for when you're looking at a truck like this. Or if you're looking at an unpainted factory Squarebody, or again, Viper, Corvette. We're in the middle of buying a bunch of kind of exotic, classic type cars. So I'm validating a lot of this stuff. That's why it's on my mind this morning. And we need to get this out anyway. The other reason on this truck that I didn't have any doubts, and if you're looking to buy it, one more piece of assurance, don't hit yourself with this mirror. I'll get all the spiders out of the way for you. Its whole life, it's sat in that building right there. Its whole life. Since the day it was bought brand new, I'm over here every day, looking over there every day. I even have the aerial photo. There used to be a man that came around with a helicopter and shot pictures from above and then from the side. of all the properties and you could buy it. Well, when I bought that property, I got those photos. I've got the photos of it sitting over there under that carport. The only thing it was used for is to move the man's tractor collection here to, what is it, 6 miles away? 6, 7 miles away. He may have used it to go to Home Depot, got some boards or something, but that's about all. It sat right there since 2003 until the day I bought the place. Then it went to the farm, and then 2 or 3 years later, bought it from him. So we can validate that truck 1 gazillion %. Had no doubts about the miles anyway. But when you're looking at stuff, you do need to know that. The CXT truck's perfect freaking example. Where is the tan CXT? Express. So we could go up there and do about that. But probably won't get to that today. So a few things you do and don't want to do while the blue truck's out. Perfect time. AJ just finished driving this truck back. How'd it do? Exhaust is loud. All right. So I was going to go ahead and put that in there. So the exhaust on this is a diesel. This was previously an Air Force truck. It's very solid underneath, but it has straight exhaust. So it's loud. AJ just drove down the highway. He was like, "You got some Tylenol?" Well, I think he was trying to pull a joke on me because I did the little need a Band-Aid this morning. So I figured that was a punchline. He was like, "I got a headache." I was like, "Oh, that ain't even funny then." But this was a Air Force truck. We just finished having a bunch of paint correction done on it. It's a good question, AJ. I don't know. I don't know. But it does need to go over to David for them lights and stuff. Oh, is key in it? I doubt it. Oh, it is. 88. Lambo. It did. It did. I've actually got some pictures. We need to do a video about that. We had a white convertible Lamborghini. And I owe AJ a Lamborghini video anyway. But we had a white convertible Lamborghini just before my dad passed away. And we had to go across town for something. I don't know what it was. And I sent our guy Mayberry, which was a previous employee, and him and my dad cruised in that car. That was pretty cool. We got some pictures of it. Dad, he didn't really care, but I said, "You go ride in a Lamborghini today?" He was like, "Nah." I was like, "Yeah, you are." Pulled up with it. He was like, "Oh, man, that's cool." So they went for a cruise. 88, custom deluxe. Got a pretty custom interior. V30. V30. Good job, AJ. But pretty well appointed on the inside. Uncle David's getting ready to get this one because it needs some love and attention in his department. 35. 16 on a 16 by that's probably a 10, might be a 9. Pretty skinny. But that is a 35-inch tire. Open country Toyo tire. Rides down the road great. Came out of Carolina. The guy was basically doing a restoration, and I think the paint job just didn't go his way. And it needed a lot of paint correction. It's still not perfect. It's not a $20,000+ paint job. But, not all of them get that. It's still got some things like up top. We'll address that today. They painted around the moldings on the cab lights. We'll get that replaced. It's still got some overspray. He did a great job. It's been there for a couple weeks, getting some wet sanding and buffing and other things done. So it's pretty darn good. It is a 1-ton. It is not a K30. It is a V30. You think people are going to think we're talking about an engine and it's got 30 cylinders? Somewhere. Because we do have a V10 custom deluxe over there. And it's, boy, oh boy, the controversy. That's why I looked at my phone earlier. We got over like 100 more comments in the last hour. Oh, it's insanity. A lot of those comments will be gone because somebody will be embarrassed and delete them. But this one is on the website. I don't think it's priced yet, but now that I got the bill for the paint correction and he's going to finish his part over there, I can go ahead and price the truck. And that will be online later today once I see all my invoices. So you guys will have a shot at a 3+3 3 people in the front, 3 people in the back, crew cab, long bed, V30, custom deluxe. What else do we need to knock out, AJ? Because we got a lot to get done.
That's getting shipped. Razor's getting shipped.
Oh, one more thing. On the rollback. And again, this doesn't apply as much as it does to cars. I can do one, as soon as we get some of these classic cars and exotics in here, I'll do one about cars, and I'll show you some other little things to look at. I showed you guys, if you haven't watched that video, go look at part 1 or part 2 about validating that truck. I think it says validating Squarebody. Okay. With me and Kenny, it's probably about 6 or 8 months ago. Go back and watch those 2-part series, because that would be a good one for a Squarebody in particular. But that truck still had the original winch cable on it. And it was not safe. It was frayed, but it was original, because when we went to get the $700 and some cable replaced on it, me and AJ went there and spent hours. It still had the factory piece where it attached into the winch. So we know it was original. That was taken out, new cable was put on it. So there's little things like that. The cable doesn't last but so long. So it doesn't pull but so many things. Just make sure you're watching what you're doing. And if you're dealing with a dealer, check their paperwork. Ask for a copy of title. Ask for a copy of this. Ask for a copy of that. Bombard them with questions. We're that dealer. We get it all the time. Ask away. Ask for pictures. Ask for videos. Because I can assure you what things look like in a video is not the same as what it looks like in a picture. Pictures can be very deceptive. That's why we have developed this channel, mostly for you guys to see these vehicles. And a lot of people will ask me, can I get additional pictures? Yes. Sometimes I don't even get across the street to my own shop. It'd been almost a week since I've been in that building until earlier today. Earlier yesterday. So, anyway, we got a few things to catch up on. We got a bunch of comments to get taken care of. If this is the last clip for today, hope you guys had a great day. But I think we got a few more things we'll get on camera.
One eternity later.
All right, walked over here, and I was going to give y'all guys a little building update. But Mom watches the channel most every afternoon, and I've been hiding this from her. So we're not going to go in there. It's actually turning out really freaking good. Super proud we're going to have an office to be proud of. That little office there has made do for us. Old house. Again, we're in an old house from the 1900s. All over again. Jiminy Christmas. Yeah. Yeah, it was reliable. It got the job done. That's good. That's a good analogy, AJ. It was like a Honda Civic. It did a great job. It worked for years. Hey, Daniel. And we're actually going to be sad to move out of it. But we're all on top of each other, like unbelievably on top of each other with zero space. So this is going to be a great addition. But I don't want her to see it yet. I think she's going to be super excited about the changes and how it's turning out. And we're actually going to have space. She's going to have her own private office. Even though I'd like for her to retire, she's going to have her own space for once. So it's going to be pretty cool. We got to run over now. There's never a dull day. Just like this building here has a basement, which did flood. And I had to come up here at 2 o'clock in the morning to pump it out one night. This building has a basement. And we have a leak. So I'm going to have to go down in there and do some plumbing today that I don't really want to do. But there's an output pipe right there, and you can see the water, and we have not had rain. And it pumped out when I was walking this way this morning. So I know it's a leak under there. It's going into the sump pump's running and pumping it out. So did give away we got a problem. So I'll be underneath there for a little bit. AJ's going to clip all this craziness together. Oh, the Raptor. So, first official sail to Hawaii should be completed today. I probably shouldn't talk about it and jinx myself. But beautiful, beautiful freaking Raptor. Alvin's getting it washed up because I've been driving it. You go that way? All right, you see it better? No, sound. Okay. But beautiful Raptor. I've been driving it. Alvin's getting it washed up one last time. Amazing build, and the guy's getting it in Hawaii. Now, we have sold product to Hawaii. We've sold vehicles that ended up in Hawaii. We've sold vehicles that ended up in Africa and other areas too, all over the country. But Hawaii has been some reason for our system. We have not done a direct sale to Hawaii. We've sold to people that live in California and then shipped to Hawaii on their own, but their address in our system was California, not Hawaii. So this will be our first official sold to Hawaii, paperwork to Hawaii. Really cool. Christian was excited because he can put that on the map. We can officially say Hawaii. Now we've covered all 50 states and how many countries? Like 14 countries or something. I don't remember, but it's on the map in there. And when we move, we got to move the map. I don't know whose job that's going to be, but there are thousands of pins that are going to have to be moved. Trista put all those flags in the ground. She might be okay moving all those pins. We'll see. Anyway, guys, it's a beautiful day. We're going to soak it up, get as much done as we can because it looks like rain for the next few, and we got a lot to get accomplished. See you guys tomorrow.